5 South Court Street, owned by Connie Klima, 1395 South Court Street, LLC, in Area Zone GB, General Business District.
Okay, and you've heard this case read. This was, and Pat, I'll ask again, this hearing was noticed in the newspaper?
Yes.
And to adjacent property owners?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. This is the second meeting we've had with the applicants. They had submitted an application for their fueling station, car wash, and facilities earlier in May, I believe. And they're now back with an application for conditional use for the outdoor dining area that will go around their store and restaurant. And I see Mr. Petrozello is here. Hey, hi. And is anyone else
Yes.
here for the applicant?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Aside from myself, Frank Petrozello, 4270 Morris Road. I have the project manager for Skilk and Gold, Kareem Emmer, and I also have a representative of Sheetz, Mike Casal, who is the project manager for Sheetz, and I have our civil engineer, Andrew Gardner.
Okay, great. Before we begin with the presentation, I will call on Mr. Frazier for any remarks or staff report.
Article 22, General Business District, is the zoning district that the proposed Sheetz project is within. And in section 2202, restaurants are a permitted use. However, outside dining areas associated with restaurants is a conditional use. It's section 2203D. Therefore, that is subject to Board of Zoning Appeals review and approval. As far as my examination of the previous site plans and the pending site plan, this is a very reasonable use for this type of a restaurant, fuel station, and car wash complex, and there are no objections from the service director's office.
Thank you, Mr. Frazier. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Frazier at this time? Okay. Then I will ask the court reporter, Ms. Maley. She will administer the oaths to Mr. Petrozello and Mr. Amir. Did I say that right?
Yes.
And Mr. Sale and Mr. Gardner.
Do you all swear or affirm that the testimony you will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Thank you.
I do.
Okay. All right, Mr. Petrozello, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Good evening. We, as we told you the last time, we would be back to talk about the outdoor dining. This is a very small area that we see as a benefit to our customer. There are only 6 tables. The area is paved in brick and surrounded by black iron railing. Mr. Gardner, our civil engineer, could put the site plan up for us, and we could take a look at the area in question.
Please do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you see that?
Yes.
There you go. Okay, and if you'd zoom in to just the patio area, please, Andrew.
Yep.
Okay, you can see that there are really, it's only show to the right, and to the front and to the right, so it goes around the building, and all that area, even though the brick shown here are enormous, they are normal size brick, and cover 2 sides of the front. We also have and the sidewalk, the areas are quite wide there, so it provides protection from any cars and the like. And we have a photograph of the table and chairs that are being used. right there. Okay. And you can see that we've got two tops up against the building, and then there is a awning there, and the metal railing and the brick pavement. It's a very simple setup, but allows our customers to eat out of doors. That's it. Thank you.
What is your total seating anticipated?
There are 6 tables. It is a combination of 2 and 4 top tables. It amounts to 20 seats max.
And it would appear, if I understand this right, that these tables will be facing Court Street in the connector?
They will be facing Court Street and the connector. That's correct.
Okay. Will there be any music emanating into this dining area?
We do not have music as part of our patio. Plus, honestly, the sound level there, given 23, is such that I don't even think you'd hear the music. But we do not play music in our patio area.
Well, you have the building to block hopefully
Yeah.
a little bit of the sound on 23. For sure.
Hopefully, yes.
Okay. All right. I'm looking at our general standards for conditional uses, also our development plan criteria. It would appear, and I guess we'll ask, given the layout, it would appear there'll be plenty of parking. You folks have certainly done a lot of these.
Yes.
How many stores do you have corporate wide?
600.
Okay, so pretty good. And do you know approximately how many of these have outdoor dining facilities?
I'd say the lion's share of them do. I don't know an exact number, but I'm sure it's in the 80% range.
Okay, all right. I'm going to open the floor to the board. Any questions, Mr. Petrocello or Mr. Gardner?
Mr. Dick.
Dick, go ahead.
Hey, I don't have any questions. I just want to say we've looked at this before and they're coming back for their conditional use. I don't have any problem with this. I think it looks great. And once again, I think this will be an asset to the community.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Spring, I have a question.
Yes.
This is Brent Bowers, resident of Circleivlle, Pickaway County. My question to the Sheetz people, this is a filling station, car wash, restaurant, outside dining. Is it also going to be a carry-out type grocery store?
It has a small convenience component to it, but it's not a grocery store.
Okay. With that being asked and answered, will Sheetz be seeking carry out for beer and spirits?
Carry out for beer and spirits.
Yeah.
I know that we do not sell spirits. I know that Sheetz does sell beer in their stores when appropriate with proper licensing. But it's not for on-premises consumption. I can tell you that. There will be no consumption of alcohol on this patio.
Okay, that was my next question. That was my next question.
No.
If you are going to be getting a permit, how are you going to be able to monitor somebody going out on your patio and sitting there and having a beer or two?
Well, we monitor it because we have during busy hours especially, we have up to 10 employees on the premises. And 2, we have a legion of cameras in our property, and Sheetz has a legion of cameras in their properties, and also 24-hour monitoring of such. So I would tell you the answer to you is proper management and observation by a goodly number of employees.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Spring, I have a question.
Mr. Ford, go proceed.
Mr. Petrozello, let me first, I heard that you guys just opened, I think, 2 up in Columbus recently.
No, I'm sorry. None have opened in Columbus yet. We've started construction on maybe 2, but nothing open yet.
Okay. Well, congratulations with that, by the way.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
My question is are your stores 24 hours?
Yes.
Okay, they are. That's all I needed to know.
Thank you.
Mr. Spring.
Yeah.
Frank, this is David Gettrue.
Yes,
I would assume from your drawing there that the distance between those tables in that building is adequate for a wheelchair for a handicapped person to get through?
Yes, as a matter of fact, one of the tables, I believe, has capacity for wheelchair access. Yes.
Right there. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. See how there are only three chairs at the one round table?
Right. I was just noticing that other photo, which is the same photo, is that end bench with the table with the benches close to that trash can. I was just wondering how adequate that was there.
Yeah. I think you're seeing some foreshortening from the telephoto lens, but I can tell you that Sheetz is very, very cautious about ADA, as our civil engineer is, and you can see there's quite a bit of gap there between the vestibule and the seating.
Okay.
We don't want trouble with ADA, believe me. we are very cautious.
Mr. Carithers, do you have any questions?
No, all my questions been answered.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone from the public online with us who would like to speak on this application? All right. Hearing none. Is there a motion to close the hearing? Well, before we do that, is there any closing remarks from the applicant?
No, thank you. I will tell you an interesting story though. We're working on a Sheetz in South Bloomfield, and their biggest criteria is that they wanted us to build their store before we built the one in Circleivlle. So I don't know what's going on between South Bloomfield and Circleivlle, but there's some sort of a competition, at least in South Bloomfield's mind. So, but it looks like Circleivlle is definitely going to be ahead of South Bloomfield. So if that means something to you, I think that's what I'm letting you know. Thanks.
Okay, all right. All right, thank you, Mr. Petrozello, and I'll entertain a motion to close this hearing.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Ford. Is there a second?
Second, Jeff.
Mr. Carithers? Roll call, please, Mrs. Huey.
She'll have to unmute.